Whatever you do is fine with me. Whatever you say is good with me. You have my permission. You, no, him, him, and the house. Are you Lisa? Ah, I'm glad to meet you. Okay, glad to meet you.
Good?
Whatever you say.
Huh? Yeah, yeah.
I have no idea. I'm going to be basing it on time because they. What? Oh. Yes. This mic. And Abdul. Raise it up.
Yeah, raise it a little.
Raise the mic. Raise the mic.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think it's on. Abdul.
In Ireland, they're just having a pint. It's about 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning. So they're fine. Let's see. This teal lead from over there. I don't think I see it here. Oh, yeah, it's there. That's in 8. I meant to put it in 5. Okay. Well, that's okay. We'll work with it in 8. No, I'd rather have it in 5. Okay. I think I need to mute it before I do anything, though. I'll tell you what, actually, if I just turn this off.
They can do it. It's fine.
That's what it comes from using the junction box upside down. Okay, now we should be good. All right.
Okay.
Please put on your masks. Folks coming in the door, please put on your masks.
It's not a problem. In fact, I probably don't even need a microphone. Oh, I'm sure you don't. Just saying, it's a relatively small room. I think everybody will be able to hear what you're saying.
Shining into the audience's eyes. It's always the last thing I think of. Where's our step ladder? Any idea? Michael, do you know where the step ladder might be?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, if I could use it. And then we'll get going. So we're so happy to have you all here. And we're about ready to stream to the world. I'm going to get that light out of the audience's eyes. And then we'll be good to go. Here it comes. All right. Thank you very much. Excuse me, watch your feet. I'm going to need to set this up right in front of you. Could you back up a feet? I'll look at you for a moment. That's probably going to be fine. Just what I need. It's called not blinding the audience. Put a little light on Avotcja.
That's standard procedure.
All right. So why don't you talk to the crowd a little bit? I'll make sure that it sounds okay.
Can you try us both at the same time? Did you sound check him?
Right, we'll do that as well. Okay, we'll have all 3 of you talk so we get you to an even level here in the house. All right. All those mics are live.
All right. Can you hear me? All right. Okay. Oh, now you can hear me even louder, huh? Okay, I'm with that. How we doing with the feedback?
You're fine. No
Okay.
feedback.
All right.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Testing what's your vocal mic?
Testing.
You want to test your vocal mic, Val?
Okay.
Oh yeah, right.
Testing 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4.
All right, yeah, it's be good.
Okay, I believe deep
This-
spiritual needs drew us together.
Oh, yeah.
We blend like the fragrance of flowers blossoming in the gardens of the motherland. And like wind swept from the sea, my spirit has sought you out. The only thing I want you to do is to bathe me in the knowing love of your smile.
Have mercy.
Sharing the sounds. You got me?
Yep.
So, everybody comfortable? Avotcja, do you have something to drink?
Yes, I do.
Huh?
So what's the sequence of events?
What's going to happen is Nancy,
Nancy?
Abdul, and then us.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, thanks a lot.
You going to?
Yeah, I'm gonna start the
Okay.
camera to the world. All right,
Let's see.
Jeff, could I get you to move one seat to the right? Could you guys scoot both of you over to the right a little bit? Nancy, can we
Both
scoot
of
you?
us?
Yeah, both of you. And Nancy, scoot you a little bit closer to Bob, because I have the camera there. We wanna see through. All right. We good? Yeah. Anything you can do on that level helps. That's good. Seems a little hot. Can you then unplug that phone? Hi, folks. I'm gonna do my high dive from here.
Ay, Dios mío, please don't even say that. Where are all these folks that said they were going to be here? Oh, well.
This kind of music can make people lose control. This kind of music gonna capture the world. This kind of music is we kind of music. And we kind of music have rhythm and soul.
I love that tune.
I said to come along and join with me in this happy song. My kind of music, your kind of music. I will sing the melody, you can join the chorus with me, and soon you will see
Ay, Dios.
my kind of music, oh, oh, your kind of music. Kaiso music is we kind of music. Hot is the tempo and sweet is the harmony. This is calypso, what else could it be? So if you're unhappy, you're worried or lonely, sweet calypso will soon set you free. If you come along and join with me in this happy song, my kind of music, latte, your kind of music. I will sing the melody, you can join the chorus with me, and soon you will see
Just
my
pull it
kind
over
of
the top here.
music, oh Lord, your kind of music.
Just over here.
Calypso music is we
No,
kind
just the
of
neck of it. The
music.
neck. The neck. The neck.
Ba-do-dum,
No, just
ba-dum,
pull the
ba-dum,
neck over there.
ba-ba-dee,
I just-
ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Bum, bum,
Never
bum,
mind.
ba-dum.
Never mind. Don't worry about it. No, I want it on the chair so I can put it back on when I need it.
Yeah, we ready?
That's the inside, yeah.
Thank you, Val.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you
I
go.
think
Thank you.
I think we getting a little.
Let me just-
Yeah,
Hmm?
we getting a little.
Okay, I'll see what we can do. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do, 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 boom, boom, go, do, do.
I love that piece. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
It came out of my.
Yes,
Ay, Dios mío, it came out of my sleeve.
that's the birdie. Yeah, you see, sweet calypso, what it is I don't know. when I hear it play so, and I have
Please put
to
on your
bongo.
mask.
Ba-lu-ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum gum bum ba-dum ba-ba-dum. Ba-dum dum bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Sweet calypso, it does make me happy. I just do the limbo while I shake my body. Ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum bum. Bum 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 ba-dum. Come along and join with me in this happy song. My kind of music, your kind of music. We warmed up now.
So, you want to say nothing? Yeah.
I'm at the very end of the room, but sure. Anytime then you get back there, so the stream as well.
Oh,
So yeah, we're very, very pleased and happy to have Avotcja here tonight. She's been an important part of Bay Area culture for decades now, and I think most of you watching this are aware of her as a poet, as a musician, as a musicologist, as a disc jockey, as a sound junkie, just a wonderful human being that means a lot. She means a lot to so many of us and so many people. So we're going to have her present her book. It's called With Every Step I Take Two, recently published 2 days ago. No, very recently published by Bill Vartnoss, Tory and Horn Press. And it's a marvelous collection of her work, poems, essays, science fiction, fiction, etc., etc. She's able to do it all, and a very important voice. So we're pleased to have her here with Val Serrant, who's going to accompany her with a little talking drum, a little steel pan, this and that. So yeah, enjoy the afternoon. Come back often. The first Sunday of the year, we always present Avotcja with her band Modupe, and also around July usually as well. So lots of chances to catch her here, but all through the Bay Area. So fly in if you're not here. We're very close to
Please.
Okay, so
We're going to start. We're going to start off with Nancy.
With Nancy.
We're going to start off with my dear friend Nancy Hom. Nancy Hom, talk about a Bay Area treasure. She's an artist. She's a poet. Half of her graphics you've seen all over the place. And we've been friends since the Civil War. So I want to thank her for coming to open up. So go for it, Nancy Hom. Yeah. All you folks out there that are listening on Zoom, come on in. We can fill out these seats.
Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you very much, Avotcja, for having me come on. And for having me read. What an honor. So I'm going to read your favorite piece. This is Avotcja's favorite piece. And it's called My Mother Who Dreamed. There was a time my mother dreamed of red silk and gilded bird cages gleaming in the sun. There are gaps in her history, pages torn out, whole dynasties flourishing and falling without notice, secrets buried in the crevices by the riverbed. Her fractured villages united in bloody battle, last resistance beaten, last soldier dragged to the open square. They speak the same language, yet curse in their own tongues behind wooden doors. She tells herself this is progress and pushes on. There was a time she would not have cared. She would have wandered the misty hillside, lingered by the singing stream, quoting Lao Tzu, reading Li Po, content to let others deal with mundane matters of state. She would have dreamed she was a butterfly, Now she does not remember the freshness of the pond, of one lily floating. She is high above the earth in a lofty apartment with suited windows and airless rooms. Clouds choke with smoke from immense factories where sewing machines drone day and night. Her calloused hands no longer feel the tender wings of hummingbirds, the soft suckle of a baby's lips. Great walls surround the city, and she cannot see the horizon with her emptied eyes. Dream becomes an opera, a bow to Kuan Yin, a dance in a courtyard, my mother in a rice field, chasing memory.
Yeah.
And I've written several versions of this poem, but this is the original one, and it's dedicated to Yuri Kochiyama, and it's called We Are All Part of One Another. To be part of one another is to know that when you breathe, I heave with you, and when you sigh, I cry beside you. We are breath and water, each of us passing from one vessel to another in the mandala of life. Knowing this, we would delve into the deepest part of ourselves to see the brilliance inside others. We would be more careful with words and protest deeds that hurt and harm. We would guard the earth as if it were our hallowed home. Knowing we are not separate is how we fight for freedom and justice, with fierce rage cupped in compassion. For we cannot be free if one of us is not. We cannot reap riches if one of us has none. We cannot fully love if one of us is hated. Fight for prisoners wrongly jailed. Protect the rights of women raped. Free all immigrants detained by ICE. Stand with Muslims against a ban. Rebuild Black churches burned by hate. Fight for sacred land and clean water. Preserve mountains, forests, and streams. Protest greedy politicians' blunder. Cry for bears shot in their sleep. Control the climate before it's too late. Beyond her life, Yuri's words live on in every continent, every country, every town. We are all part of one another. Rise up and fight as one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Avotcja, and
Thank you.
congratulations on your book.
I'm grateful. Another one. Come on, give Nancy a big hand. Homeboy, brother from another mother. You know, Harlem makes some nice folks. In New York, what can I say? But he worries too much. He worried all the hair off his head. I think I helped that happen. But he's a great poet. He's a wonderful storyteller. He's an amazing jazz vocalist. And he's my friend, Abdul Kenyatta.
Thank you. And I know a calypso song, too.
Good. I know the
If you
rhythm.
want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. From my personal point of view, make an ugly woman marry you. Thank you.
Yeah.
As Avotcja mentioned, I am from Harlem. In Harlem, the once upon a time capital of the African universe, Africans came from everywhere just to be there because they knew if you ain't been there, you ain't been nowhere. Harlem had class and style and a big city profile. City slickers, pickpockets, cotton pickers, and poets. People seeking dreams, success, and change. Big city change and Sugar Hill chocolate covered dreams. People working long overtime hours at hard labor for weekends pleasures. Bid whist, pity pat, and tonk parties, or getting elegant with Duke Ellington and Count Basie, jamming in the nightclubs all up and down 7th Avenue and Lenox Avenue, kicking it with Joe Williams, stomping at the Savoy, jitterbugging with Lena Horne and Dorothy Dandridge. I remember summertime when the living was hot sun and children running up and down baked concrete streets, all skinned elbows and scraped knees, white t-shirts and dungarees, eating dirty water frankfurters and slurping grape cherry ices, while Slow Sam from Alabama pushed his wooden cart selling clams on the half shell with lemon juice and red devil hot sauce, and Mr. Kirk at his grocery store selling watermelon on ice by the slice. Children on hot Saturdays, crowded streets cheering the kings of milk crate basketball and running as fast as the wind past old men playing championship checkers and dominoes, surrounded by friends talking smack and all like that. People chilling with fire hydrant mist drifting, cool, refreshing breezes of mist, bright dancing explosions of red and orange and yellow swirls of activity, screaming mambo, merengue, calypso, rhythm, and blues of a modified need, straining to be free, pursuing some happiness, searching for Miss Liberty. I remember the Friday night spiritual meeting and the cadence emanating from staccato drum beats and hard slamming, heavy bass lines, backing trumpets and trombones, making a joyful noise unto the Lord, rising from the house of prayer across the street. 125th Street, passing by the world-famous Apollo Theater. Musicians and hustlers emerged from Saturday night's bebop reefer madness pleasures, greeting Sunday go-to-meeting sanctimonious matrons and holy roller deacons, like ships passing in the daylight, blending shades of gold, coffee, and burnt copper, mahogany, dark chocolate, brown sugar, and mulatto cafe au lait people coming together in Harlem. Geechee, Haitian, Senegalese, Nigerian, Cuban, Creole people, Bajan, Ghanaian, Ethiopian, Jamaican people, Trinidadian, Puerto Rican, Brazilian people coming together in Harlem, beating bamboo batons and steel drums in syncopated time, jamming juju, jitterbug, jazz, swing, bebop, shimmy rhyme, faceless shades of mellow people harmonizing doo-wops on street corners, dipping and dabbing with life in the extreme while floating in and out of the endless aromas of rice and beans, collard greens, candied yams, and baked ham. Excuse me. Plátanos dulce, pasteles gumbo, roti, fish, and fungi, jambalaya, sopas, curries, and kalilu. Survivors coming together in Harlem after having been separated for so long, sitting at the feast of a grand family reunion, no more feeling like a motherless child. Survivors coming together in Harlem, the once upon a time capital of the African universe.
Hey, Abdul Kenyatta, thank you so much. I want to thank those of you who are here, and I want to say this book, with every step I take, sold out long before we thought it was going to sell out, and folks kept asking for it. So we're talking about republishing the book, and they said, hey, the book was 206 pages, so now it's 272 pages, so that's why it's two. So it's like really two books, and I guarantee you, if you get the book, you won't be disappointed at the stuff. I tried at least to put in some of the best stuff I've ever written. So I want to thank the folks who helped the first edition sell out and to help this one do the same. Before we do anything, Val and I have to call in the ancestors. Val and I, when he came from Trinidad and Tobago, I snatched him off the boat. This is my brother by another mother for real. He is Mr. Trini for real. He's a strong musician. He's actually a good friend. We've gotten very close. In fact, I had the honor of delivering his daughter. It was an accident, but I mean, women, you know how we are. We don't go into labor when you want us to. And I took her to the hospital, and all of a sudden, this baby started coming when the woman who was supposed to be delivering was in the next room delivering a baby. So there I was. And I wound up delivering this beautiful baby, and the first word out of my mouth was Ache, which means like personal power. And so that's her name, and she's absolutely gorgeous. This is my brother For real. We have been working together since he got off that boat. We'll be working together until the boat takes us somewhere else. And with that, we'll call in the ancestors.
Yeah. And that daughter is Yetunde Agbara Oluwa Ashe, which means the mother has returned through the power of the Creator. Ashe. Because my mother had joined the ancestors before she was born, and my aunt kept telling me my mother kept bugging her all the time. And as soon as my daughter was born, she was happy. Aladoye, Aladoye, Obakoso, Shango Wariloe. Aladoye, Aladoye. Yemaja, Odoya. Yemaja, Odoya. Nabirada Praya no Fundoduma, Nabirada Praya no Fundoduma. Odosiaba, 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 Odosiaba. Mama Yoshun, Yabadoriu, Olomio, Olomio. Aladoye, Aladoye. Aladoye, Araba Shango Oriloye. Aladoye, Aladoye. Aladoye, Araba Shango Oriloye. See my spirit traveling through space and time. When a voice command me, he say, Chicken you shall find. Beauty all around me, pretty water for miles and miles. Then the voice informed me, this is the river Nile. And this land is sacred, seen by very few. Your foreparents' knowledge, now I pass on to you. I am the Orisha, so sacred to the Yoruba. Use these words to call me where you are, whether near or far. Just say, Aladoye, 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 Araba, Shango, Oriloye, Shango, Babawa, Shango, Babawa, Shango, Babawa, Shango, Babawa.
Ancestral reflections. Can you feel them? I say, can you feel them? Ancestral suggestion trying to guide us. They're everywhere, walking through us, right beside us. They're the essence of us. Got the intensity of their legacy and everything all over our stuff. They're in us, with us all the time. Our ancestors never sleep. They want us to know all they've ever known, been trying to show the way. So we don't have to fall. They need us to feel them. Won't let us go until we let them know we need them. There's still too much work that has to be done. They've got their busy fingers in all our business, whether we want them there or not. They're always listening, watching, checking, looking, checking in on us. Won't let us forget. Got to make sure their existence made a difference. Can you feel them? They're sitting in on our everything. The ancestors are always here. They're everywhere. They're making sure that we're making sure their influence is obvious every time we open our eyes. They need us to be aware. They gave their everything for us. They lived, they died for us. They smile each and every time they see their lives alive in us. Feel them. They're there. They're here, crying for us, singing to us, laughing at us. And right now they're dancing with us as we carry the tradition of honoring their presence and proudly praise and celebrate the vision they continue to give us. We humbly take on the mantle of the undying strength of their legacy and pray to always be worthy of the gifts of their artistry. Can you feel insistent ancestral suggestion on top of us, encouraging us? They're everywhere, agitating, trying through us to make it a better day. Help us create a better way. Hard-headed, gregarious spirits got their fingers in our everything, relentless and instigating, and they won't go away. They've been in it for the long haul, paid the price of their tickets and commitment and blood, and they're in us, always with us. Can you feel them? I say, can you feel them? Our ancestors are never asleep, and we gotta make sure their existence made a difference. Thank you so much. Oh, have a seat. Talking about ancestors, I'm a daddy's girl, and so I have to do this one. This one is definitely one of the new ones in the book. In fact, I think everything I do tonight will be one of the new ones in the book. It's called Poppy Was a Dancing Man. I'm the daughter of two dancers. And, you know, it's unfortunate. I wish I could say that this color care system had died a long time ago. Unfortunately, it's still here because I've heard people talk about people being the right color for them or being too dark or too light. Dumb stuff like good hair and bad hair. Ooh. You know, and not only was my mother and father a dancer, but Poppy was very, 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 very dark. And I worshiped him. So this is called Poppy Was a Dancing Man. And I dedicate this to all of our children who still have to go through the crap of listening to that nonsense about being the right color, being too dark or too light is the stupidest thing on earth, where the color is supposed to be. As Pharaoh and Leon Thomas said, the Creator has a master plan. And so this is for Poppy, and this is for all those children who had to live through this garbage. Poppy. I say, Poppy was 25 shades blacker than midnight. Blue black, they called him. Poppy was a pretty boy, a pretty man. Skin so smooth, he looked like he was carved out of ebony. Poppy never just walked. He was smooth like his skin, moved like a panther, like a well-sung song. Poppy was beautiful to watch, wore his pride like armor, like a weapon, like a shield. In cities designed to make him disappear, he wore his blackness like a badge of honor. Moved through the whiter-than-thou madness with the grace of greased lightning. Danced his way across stages that tried to bury him in the filth of their fear. Poppy was 25 shades blacker than midnight. The kind of unstoppable black that they couldn't hold back no matter how hard they tried. Poppy was untouchable. Even when they tried to get at him by trying to get to me, he danced in their faces on all their sacred places, made a joke of their ignorance by stealing their shows on their stages and giving unanswered lessons on the real black power. His unshakable power, our undeniable survival power, Poppy. Poppy was 25 shades blacker than midnight. 25 times blacker than was tolerable by terrified white folks, by immaculate Negro jet setters. He ain't too bad to be so confident, too African looking to be so proud, too loud to be so arrogant, too damn black, or so they said. But even when black was a never to be spoken word, they couldn't stop his beauty. I mean, like when Poppy smiled, even the wind held its breath. And while all the foolish tongues rattled, he danced. He danced and spread his blackness across the whiteness of this stolen land. And he danced and he danced and danced and danced and kept holding my hand. Held on real tight till I was strong enough to see the light and write this poem. Poppy was 25 shades blacker than midnight. Blacker than midnight. Blacker than midnight. Blacker than midnight. Thank you. And for all those poppies that are good poppies, we need you. You know. Thank you. You know.
And while we're talking ancestors, let me give thanks. Sometimes we come with all the instruments and all of that, and we don't give thanks. But when I was in Trinidad and Tobago, Only somebody like Avotcja could get me to bring this out of my house, here. Because this is what we use in the Orisha tradition in my country. After the drums were banned and all of that, you see this one I'm playing, all these were banned, but we kept on creating. As our friend Fabia Kuchichagulia said, while they were destroying, we were busy creating, And an elder told me to be sure to come and check him out. He had just returned from Cuba, and he had a set. We have them in a set of three, So it's like the mother, father, and the child. So this is special from that ancestor to all of you in Avotcja.
Thank you. And talking about things Caribbean, when Carnival started here in the Bay Area, there's a nice woman who was like my surrogate mama, Connie Williams. And she, when she first came to the States, she was in New York. Then she wound up in, was it Santa Rosa or somewhere way out there, Santa Rosa somewhere. I think it was Santa Rosa, Santa Cruz. Anyway, Santa Rosa, I think. And she tried to get the West Indian, the Trinidadian tradition going there. It didn't work so well. She moved to San Francisco and it took over. It took out. She was on Haight for a while. She was on Fillmore for a long time. And she sort of was like the surrogate. You hadn't had coconut bread. I mean, I've had a lot of coconut bread, but Connie's coconut bread will make you holler. It will make you start holy dancing. And I cannot walk down Fillmore without smelling that coconut bread to this day. But Connie brought the tradition of Carnival to the Bay Area. It was a small thing, and it was in the Fillmore district, and she got all kinds of awards from the mayor and all that kind of stuff. And then Bobby Cespedes started Carnavalito in Hunters Point. And then the corporations got in and what have you. And then the big carnival that you know of right now that happens in the Mission came. But the one who sparked that whole thing was this wonderful little woman, Connie Williams. Well, when the corporations got in, and I'm not knocking Carnival in the Mission, because it's always good when we get together and celebrate. But I like the smallness of the Carnival that we used to have. So when that happened, all of us from the West Indian Caribbean background, we went to the East Bay. We started a thing that was called Karijama, which got destroyed by, anyway, I won't even go into, when creatures move into our neighborhoods, they decide what they want to, what they have. And there's terrible things happening, like people dancing in the streets, half naked, according to them, And Juve, which means you wake up in the morning at the crack of dawn and playing music, having fun. Oh my God. Anyway, then of course the forces that be started trouble. We didn't have the trouble, contrary to popular mythology. But the forces that be started trouble after Karijama. And as a result of it, we lost Karijama. There was fighting and all that kind of stuff on the outskirts of Karijama. And then the park got completely fenced in. And I went by it and I saw that and I just broke out crying. And I wrote this poem and I dedicate it to all of us. It's called In the Shadow of Karijama. And it's for Connie Williams, Jackie Artman, the African Queens, Malongo Cascalord, Jackie Barnes, Demitis, Carlos Aceituno, Regina Calloway, and Fogana Hopa. Sisters with Style, Nos Makers Massive, Val Serrant, the Bay Area Blues Society, United Sisters, All Are We, Dilma Dakota, DJ Miller the Killer, and myself, Avotcja, In the Shadow of Karijama. I was there. I was there, standing in the shadows of a revelry denied. I was invisible, pushed to the side, hidden like yesterday's bacchanal, and the slavery we danced in spite of. I was invisible, unseen like the pain we sang in the face of. Nobody saw me. Nobody saw me crying, lost in the shambles. Just another invisible non-entity and embodied phantom, standing alone. In between the naked homelessness of the ghosts of Karijama and another trampled on dream in a now fenced-in park, in a passionless neighborhood, I left unnoticed, swam all the way home wrapped in an ocean of sadness, swimming in tears, a bitter tasting travesty, a sea of Furious, foul-tasting tears seasoned by hundreds of years of unstoppable pride, just waiting for the right time to be reborn. But you better know, though I may have been invisible, I was never alone, never, never alone, and I was always there. Take it, Val. Yeah, that instrument, ay Dios mío, that instrument, now the sound disappeared. Okay, here we go. That instrument is a steel drum, which we call pan, is a good example of what happens when folks do strange stuff like try to take the drums away from us. As I say, our brothers went into labor and gave birth to steel drums by taking things, the other thing that people were throwing away and creating this beautiful instrument in Trinidad. So, I want to do this one. It's called Salvation Songs because I can't speak for anybody else, but music for me is my religion. It's my medicine. It's the thing that keeps me strong. And there's, I cannot say enough in the praise of music. But for me, these cantos que me curan, they are the thing that keeps me positive in this insane world, because this world is truly insane. So I want to put this out there. I don't know where Val's going to take us, because what you're hearing is a jam session today. And while he's setting up this mics, I want to thank Bill Vartnar, who's here, my publisher, sitting over there. Torian Horn poem not only has me, the great Q.R. Hand is on that one. The former poet laureate emeritus of San Francisco, Kim Shuck, has got something there. The wonderful Carol Lee Sanchez, one of my heroes. There are several Native American poets on that press. So if you get a chance, check out some of the things on Torian Horn Press. And nobody would take me. They would either try to do all the Spanish stuff or all the English stuff, all stuff dealing with black issues or stuff anyway. And he took it all. And I'm so grateful for that. So, Bill, thank you so much. So with that, Salvation Songs. Somehow, I say somehow, when life gets out of balance and I find myself falling, slipping into the unmelodic sadness of civilization, Arsenio comes sneaking around, sprinkling Afro-Cubanismo all over my insecurities, pulling me up into the melasa of his magic, and I find myself with Charles Mingus on my mind. Mesmerized by his poetic song, a hauntingly unconquerable symphonic masterpiece. So powerfully tender, it was frightening. My tears wiped away by the indescribable strength in the voices of Carmen McRae, Ruth Fernandez, and Coco Taylor, so fearless in their honesty and inexplicable gentleness, with muscle enough to make me tremble inside. And when life forgets what time it is, I can always depend on the rhythmic fire of Vi Red, Len Booksy Sharp, and Calypso Rose to throw a little hot sauce on life's rhythm. And I'm moving. I'm moving in time with the cosmos again somehow. In the midst of the cruel madness of this world, I find myself bathing in the healing music of Tito Puente and Gasem Batamunto, Famadou Dan Morgier and Kirk Lightsey, Xiomara Alfaro and Dizzy Gillespie, and Cantos que me curan, the Boricua magic and the musical curanderismo of William Cepeda's Afro-Rican jazz, and the complex simplicity of a Shirley Horn song. And I am healed, reborn in the civilizing beauty of melody, cleansed by the universal harmony of music, and my heart remembers how to dance. Yeah. I'm going to bring Val on in just a second to show you some of his percussion passion, but before we do that, I want to do one thing without him. But this one, some of you may know, dear friend of mine, he passed away not too long ago. He was hit by a car. And it was the thing that's so sad about this whole issue, I mean, it would have been sad anyway, is that, you know, we had just planned on doing a major gig at La Peña, and a major concert, and Rafael Manriquez was one of the many of the people who came when Chile was doing the crazy stuff that it was doing, killing folks, and there was a major exodus to the Bay Area of Chileans, and Rafael was one of them. And they founded La Peña in Berkeley. And he left La Peña one night and was hit by a car and was killed. Right before that happened, we had been hanging out at his daughter's house. His daughter and son-in-law have almost like a little cantina in their basement. They do these amazing shows there. And Rafa knew me real well. I'm older than dirt. And I'm also very weak for old Mexican boleros. And he was a musicologist, a real musicologist. So after we finished our performance, he runs down this whole litany of these boleros. What do you call, when I was a kid, we call them grind 'em up songs, the kind of stuff you got in the basement when your family couldn't catch you, your mama and daddy couldn't catch you, you know. And he finished with one called El Reloj, which was a tune very, very popular by Los Panchos and several other groups in the 50s. And that was the last thing I heard him doing, because when I got back from my trip from LA, I found out when I got to La Peña to sign my contract, everybody was outside crying and all this. And Rafa had died the night before, leaving La Peña. So this is the thing I wrote for him. Now, for those of you who speak Spanish, you know that when we call a Gaia Picaflor, it's double and triple entendre. And so I'll tell you all, do your homework, and you can figure that one out. But it's like the Spanish word for hummingbird. So this is called Como un Picaflor Aromático for Rafael Manriquez Silva. Rafa, nuestro Picaflor, the clock has stopped. But I still hear your voice. Reloj no marque la hora. Your voice. Your unmistakable voice, un encanto andino, like Chilean pebre, spicing up an otherwise spiceless world, Rafa. Our Chilean songbird has joined the ancestry te extraño, I miss you, and the understated intense promise of justicia in your voice, te extraño, tú. Un océano majestuoso de cantos, your world of song and your fanatical love of song, poetic song that never seemed to stop coming, tú. Biblioteca eterna de la palabra poética, ay, Rafa, tu voz. Como un rayo de la esperanza, your melodic medicine in a world going mad, tu voz. Una estampa indestructible, proud and unmistakable like Chilean hot sauce. Pebre, vocalizado, un sabor inolvidable, a one-of-a-kind kind of sound, escrito en el viento, your voice. una estampa sempiterna, singing to me, singing, your mischievous voice teasing, persiguiéndonos, dancing through our dreams, spicing up our lives like Chilean hot sauce. Ay, Rafa, encantador chileno. Te escucho en cada brisa, singing to my soul, la belleza de tu voz, singing to me, singing to all of us. The clock has stopped, but I still hear you. Reloj no marque la hora. No marque la hora, no marque la hora. Hey, Rafa, no. For Rafael Manrique Silva. Now this, thank you so much. There's a wonderful International Women Drum Festival that happens in the Bay Area up in the Oakland Hills every year called Born to Drum. It was founded by Carolyn Brandy. And I'm so honored every year, with the exception of this one. I do a workshop there called When Ancestors Speak Through Rhythm. And it's really interesting because you always think of the drums being a male instrument. But if you women drummers, you need to go to this if you have never been. But it's like from everywhere. Women percussionists come to this thing, and it's absolutely awesome. So I wrote this poem for the women at this drum festival. The poem is called Daughters of the Drum. The festival itself is called Born to Drum. And it's in some Spanglish in it as well. And so I want Val to take us out on some of this. He can call me in, and then he can finish with some of his powerhouse percussion.
Sneaking in there. Sadly, he too was struck by a car, joined the ancestors.
Daughters of the Drum. We were born to drum. Somos hijas rítmicas. We were conceived in rhythm, whether we knew it or not, or wanted it or not. It was and has always been about upholding la clave en el alma, the beauty and sanctity of the rhythm that created us, the rhythm that is us. Somos el latido de la naturaleza, the rhythm of our mother's labor pains. I say they announced our coming, and it's always the rhythm of our breathing that lets the world know we're alive. Mírano. Mírano. Bellas, fuerza, bítica, pero picosas. Feel it. We walk and sing, pray, dance, and cry, and every single word that flows out of our mouths is a rhythmic declaration of our presence. Somos la esencia de la bomba, and even our sacred Mother Nature dances rhythmically through the seasons. Every single year, keeping the rhythm of our lives in balance. Our universe is inescapable. I say it's an inescapable symphony, ritmos sagrados, held together by vibration, by the sound of the sum of us, the always right on time, magical, rhythmical timelessness of us. Somos la fiebre apasionada de la rumba. The heart of bebop and kubop was born in us. It's creation's gift to us. Somos el corazón del tambor, born in the womb of creativity, an undeniable rhythm personified. Wake up, world. Mírano. Listen. We are your children, and we were born to drum. Um, if it's okay, what I'd really like to do is a poem that was in the book before and is still in the book. And it's about Oakland. Oakland has gotten one of the worst reputations on planet Earth, some of which may have been earned, but a lot of which is not. Oakland at one point was like not only a blues capital, it was a place, I mean, people actually jumped ship to come into West Oakland because it was happening. There was 7 major clubs and a few block radius there. There was, it was like blues heaven. And it looks like a bomb has hit it now. And that's very sad for a lot of reasons. So I wrote this poem, which I also turned into a play, and we're trying to get refunded so we can bring it back out there. It's called Oaktown Blue. Ooh. And I want to take you to West Oakland when it was the only place to be. We're going to do something different because we're going to take the blues with a steel drum. And because I love the steel drum. I can never get enough of this instrument. So let me find Oaktown Blue. And I want to take you to Oakland when it was literally a paradise. And hopefully something will happen to rebuild it, because I've chosen to live there because when I got introduced to West Oakland by a guy called L.C. Goodrockin' Robinson, which most people should know about but don't, he introduced me to an Oakland that doesn't exist anymore. And I cannot walk down 7th Street without hearing ghosts literally talking to me, because there's so much history in that place. So this is Oaktown Blue. Now, for folks that don't know, they suffer the delusion that the blues was born from the suffering and the pain and all the horrors of slavery. But some blues may have been born from that. But if you really check your history and you know anything about your music, the Delta blues, the Mississippi Delta blues, that comes straight out of Mali. So we didn't come here empty something or other, and all of a sudden picking enough cotton and jump up in the field with, oh, thank you, God, if I got the blues. No. We came with stuff. So this is called Oaktown Blue, and I want to introduce you to West Oakland. They came on foot, by car riding hope, on horseback by train on the plain. They came wearing faith, pockets full of dreams, running from cotton fields and chopping cane. They came running, knowing better was waiting, carrying their whole lives in paper bags, carrying guitars on their backs, sacks full of tall tales and blue songs of a home they knew they'd always miss, but swear they'd never go back to. They came by ship, discharged, scars, wounds no time could heal. Released from military hospitals on West Coast shores they'd never even seen, battle fatigue, confused, feeling used, and they came in droves from the wars, shell-shocked and tired, looking for a home, and when they didn't find it, they built it. On any night in West Oakland, you might run into migrant workers straight out the cotton fields of Georgia, strutting their stuff in partying and bumping and grinding alongside of armies of ditch diggers, tradespeople, and unemployed PhDs who were never told they were unemployable. Saints and sinners from Texas and Mississippi, from Arkansas and Virginia, Maryland, the Carolinas, even the West Indies, all dancing away their rage and sadness, hidden behind memories of clouds of cotton and buried beneath too many mountains of sugarcane and tobacco leaves. A frustrated fury, forgotten and left behind to rot in deserted plantation fields, and you could hear the relief in the clubs as Big Mama Thornton took a crown and gave Oakland everything. Woman gave us everything. Everything she wasn't allowed to give in the South. Johnny Hooker brought the boogie out the Delta, and Bob Geddens, Ivory Joe Hunter, and Charles Brown gave us smooth. You could go right down the street and get yourself some of Beverly Stovall, Sonny Rose, Jimmy McCracklin, J.J. Malone, and the sophisticated sweetness of Jimmy Witherspoon, or the raw passion in L.C. Goodrockin' Robinson's blues violin, or get your insides ripped out and put back together again as Etta James and Sugar Pie DeSanto tore the roof off the house. The blues didn't just slip into the Bay Areas like a cloudburst. The blues came in waves, powerful waves, waves as subtle as a tidal wave and as painlessly as a pregnant woman in hard labor. The blues came in oversized raggedy overalls, sometimes sporting evening gowns and three-piece suits. It came furious, luxurious, jubilant, overworked and underpaid, running from the Klan, holding on to everything they had while others just looking for something to hold on to. The blues came west, looking for freedom land. LA, Sacramento, and San Francisco had that big city thing. Folks rocked in Russell City. Vallejo had a scene, Richmond had a kind of smooth, Chi-town sounding thing, but if you wanted a gut-wrenching, soul-taking, down-home blues, you know, the kind of church and your mama warned you about, the kind of blues that made your hair stand on end and snatch you out of chairs and made you shout, jump, act a fool, and dance, that good old makes you want to holler kind of blues, you better come to Oakland. Oakland, the blues mecca of the West Coast. Scene was as wild and sophisticated as you were. Every place a different personality, and every night was party night where you could romance and grind and whine and cry about what you didn't have, or brag and being loud and proud and show off everything you did have, and talk about everything you wanted to be at Slim Jenkins' Club, Esther's Orbit's Room, Ruthie's Inn, Eli's Mile High, or every night was an exorcism, where every demon was put to rest, where you could be free to be real or be downright nasty. You could show your stuff till you were wet with sweat at the Rum Boogie, Christie's Grill, the Palladium Club, and all the nameless hidden around the clock juke joints, and the blues came down like rain, fell down on everything, fell down on Oakland was blues king. I say blues was king, and then they came. I said they came and knocked down the cafes. They came and tore up 7th Street. They came and closed the clubs, promised jobs and schools to uplift and save. They took the hood and left a wasteland full of restless spirits, ghosts. Ghosts running loose with plenty of reasons to sing the blues, but when everyone else goes to sleep, you can still hear them. J.C. Burris, Dottie Ivy, Z.Z. Hill, Mississippi Johnny Waters, hear them singing. Their sounds written all over every building. It seeps up out of the ground you walk on and it's yours. Little Johnny Taylor, Johnny Horseman, Percy Mayfield, listen. They tried to free you. They tried to hear you with their blues so strong even Willie Bobo was singing Never Go Back to Georgia. Buddy Ace, Cool Papa Sadler, Brownie McGee, and Lowell Folsom, they'll always be here. They refuse to disappear. Nothing can stop it. Gentrifiers can't block it. The same people, I say the same people that dance from the blues scene into the mambo sessions and back again. The California Hotel now run to Dorsey's, Lockup, Bluesville, Sweet Jimmy's, and the Fifth Amendment. The same people. And their children are bringing in the new Queen Ida came two-stepping out the bayou, lit in the Zydeco parade. And Sugar Pie DeSanto and Johnny Hooker never grow old and still ride on top of our totem pole. There's Lady Bianca and Jesse James, E.C. Scott and Al Bond, Sister Monica, Bobby Webb and Gwen Avery, Little Frankie Lee and Billy Dunn, Wally Trash, Faye Carroll, say Willie G, Frankie Kelly, Johnny Talbot, and Ronnie Stewart leading the caravan of all-stars into tomorrow, and it's in the air we breathe, and it keeps on coming and coming and coming and coming, and nothing and nobody can stop it. Other folks can keep their big heads stuck way up in the clouds, but when it all comes back down to earth, the prize is ours, and it's our jewel, and it's still coming down Oaktown Blue.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's see, from this book, let me give you some of the new stuff here. Let's see. This place is magic that you're sitting in, by the way. If you don't know, they have music here, not just occasionally, every weekend. You want to hear some of the best jazz, period, anywhere. You need to come and support this place. Not to mention the fact that we've done here some fundraising for the Native American Health Center and all kinds of other things. This is a special place. So please support this place. In fact, I'm going to put in a plug for you supporting the small family bookstores all over the place. In fact, family businesses all over the place. You might check out Marcus Books, and some of these other family businesses, grocery stores. The reason you get some of these big mega businesses is because people supported them. Please support this place and support these small independent businesses, because if you don't, they disappear and you'll be like a certain person. I know I was at a poetry reading. He claimed that there were no black record stores in the Bay Area, which is a bunch of crap. There's no black mega record stores in the Bay Area because you didn't support the small ones. Another one's complaining, can't find any Latin music in a large Latin record store. I can think of several stores here in the Bay Area that's all they sell is Latin records. They're small stores. Go and check them out. Support them. If you support them, beautiful things happen. If you don't support them, they disappear. So I'm going to do a couple more, if that's okay with you. I want to thank you for really coming and supporting. Hopefully you take a book home and you know, and support this place. So let me get this one that I wrote. We had a gig here. Let me find it. We had a gig here, and something strange happened. I mean, something very special always happens every time we play here, but something real magical happened that night. And so, what can I say? It's called, where is it here? Let me find it. I thought I marked it off, but knowing me, here it is, 142nd. It's called Ecstasy in Glen Park. And it was definitely that. Folks play games with this thing. You know, they think that we're just here to show off and be cute on stages and what have you, and maybe some of us are that. But that's not happening. As I said, this for me is a religion. And then when you get together and you wind up playing with people that you really we call it locking in as you're a musician, when you really lock into each other, something real special happens. And then when you lock into each other as musicians, and then we lock into you as audience, even more magic happens. And that's bigger than being a superstar, because you really lose yourself. You lose yourself in each other. So this is called Ecstasy in Glen Park, and this is for us at this place. And for Eric Whittington, thank you for doing all you do.
Yeah.
So wherever you want to take us.
Go with the flow.
Give me some kind of jazz ballad, any kind of way you want to go. What you want to go? Where you want to go?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Yeah, that's good.
Ecstasy in Glen Park. There was a wildness in the air. I say, there was a wildness in the air of pregnant expectation. As we unpacked our instruments and fell madly in tune with each other, the crowd at Bird and Beckett's didn't know what to expect. Truth was, neither did we. We just dropped the chains of ego, picked up our axes, and started playing. The passion of melody wrapped itself around us, quenched its thirst in the sweat of our euphoria. Spirit dancing from note to note to note to note to note, every single bar, every few bar. I say every bar, it held us like the first kiss, and we melted into each other and became one. One with each other, one with the muse, one with the audience. That night, we did not play music. That night, the music played us. This was not just another gig, this was magic. Magic, beautiful, sacred, harmonious magic. A powerful, indescribable, transcendent magic. It was love, the purest kind of timeless love. And we were an orgy of sound. Thank you. Oh, I think that'll be a perfect one to end on here. I want you to give Val Serrant a hand. We're going to close off with this one also from the book, one of the new ones in the book. In fact, just about almost everything I did tonight was new in the book. This is called Music Is My Name. I love that tune. Sweet freedom. Sweet freedom, I have walked hand in hand with your melody. Across hilltops I've run with the wind. I've sung the sounds that the first snows bring under trees that danced with no fear of hungry axes. I've traded songs with a friendly lizard, even he could hear me. I've made love in the grass with the B-flat that holds the universe together when the leaves sway. It's just me moving somewhere, and when the wind blows, it's only me whistling the blues, and when I die, just bury me with an eighth note so I won't be lonely. Cover my body with sheet music, and I will caress it even in death. Don't cry at my funeral, serenade me on my way. Stick your hands in the paint of melody and color me music. Make the unmistakable flavor of my spirit another poetic spice on the path to forever. Let it all begin again right here. Sing to me. Party with me, dance with me, dance for me, and mambo me passionately into the always present sphere. Consciously conjure me musically. Make sure those other folks can't conveniently forget me. Make sure they remember the word song that is me. The blue harmonic gift of existence is my legacy. Hold tight to the wild gospel-like spirit of jazz in me. Make sure they know that I've always been the kind that won't be quiet, an uncontrollable, sassy vibration, a song that sings forever. I'm an in-your-face melody that will never be gone. The truth of the kubop that holds the heart of reality together is me. Been here a long time before the beginning began. I came holding down the rhythm of wordplay wherever we are, always as close to you as the nearest song. A rejuvenating, lyrical presence written all inside your DNA, an inescapable refrain that won't go away. I'm like La Bomba, a fire in your soul that's here to stay. Just color me music. Music is my name. Music is my name. Val Serrant. And you, please take one of these home with you and tell somebody else about the book, and please support us. I want to thank each and every one of you for showing up. I want to thank Nancy. I want to thank Abdul for showing their stuff. And I say, each and one, please take a book home, and if you want to sign it for you. But thank you for coming out. Val, love you madly. You were awesome as usual, brother man.
Sounds so great. I've never heard it played on. That is
I don't know where.
No, sir, I'm only another poet.
I don't know where they are.
Allow me to give you a card. I love you.
Huh? Oh, thank you. You were great, always. What you know, friend? I'm all right. How about you? Yes.
My goodness. What a great.
Thank you. Yeah, get a book and take it home with you. Okay, I'm here. Wait. I did. You know what? Tell him to give me a pen, or if you can bring one back. I thought I had one. I'll get you.
That's one of the places, the Lancers.
Oh, all right.
I want to give you and Bob a copy of the book.
Yeah, they're there quite frequently.
Huh?
One will do.
I was going to give you just one.
I'm gonna prepare you two for you.
Okay, I'm
One of
grateful.
my cards.
Whatever. I'm just grateful that you're here.
I don't my card.
There's a whole bunch of newer things in here too that I didn't do, but I don't want to run way out my welcome. So. Thank you.
Give the other one.
Oh, I'm grateful because I wasn't feeling very strong, but I'm grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay.
How's your health?
My health's been screwed for years, but as long as I can keep writing, playing music, I'm okay. So that's what it's all about.
Makes you strong.
Music makes me feel good.
Thank you very much. No problem. Thanks so much. Always great.
Goes well together.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, that's my home.
Yeah.
What you know.
Yeah.
So what that do?
You
too. Okay. That's good. Do you have a book out now? You know I need to get a copy of your book. I'll buy a copy. So,
I'm gonna be buying a copy tonight.
okay, great.
I definitely want to make sure that you have.
Okay.
Some of your work words are in there.
Oh, I haven't.
Here, where do you send it? Where do you normally send it?
Okay, so now everybody is giving me different spellings of their names, so give me the correct one of yours.
Just Kevin.
Just regular, okay.
Kevin.
I had somebody else spell it,
wrote a
everyone tell you how he
poem,
spelled his.
once.
Oh, I know.
Actually,
No,
Elijah might have
I've
heard me
met some
read it
few.
online.
I met some other ones that
To another song from the Black Orpheus
Oh.
soundtrack, A Felicidade.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I figured out a way to write the poem,
To go in there.
so while I'm reading it,
Yeah.
I sing parts of it.
Beautiful.
Casi loca, pero
Should be nice.
nothing's new.
Precisa casamento
Okay.
Beautiful.
Besamos en fin,
Yeah.
felicidade, sí. I mean, it's so gorgeous.
Wonderful, yes, it's beautiful,
Somebody told me you
it's
had a show
beautiful,
coming
yeah.
out.
You know.
You have a show coming out?
And the funny thing was, then I found
let me
out
call
because
you
I
when we
love
get-
music, I keep on writing poems about
To
music,
go, yeah.
and then
No, I'll call
people
you.
hear me
I'll call you
sing,
tomorrow.
Yeah.
and then it's almost like every time I read a poem,
You
I
have
want
to
to
sing. It's very important. You know, it's one, you know, it's really, it's very, and like I
They
said,
totally fit
yeah,
together.
like I say with Kaiso music, you know, it's poetry and song, you know.